Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here with another fascinating radionic instrument from about 1990. This is one of the famous Lor'D Industries 6-dial unit, which comes with their technology called the Pacer and a GSR meter for detecting sticks. This certainly was a good attempt at getting radionic sticks or tuning in properly. As you can see here, they have these kind of dials. These are 0 to 10. Why this dial doesn't have a 0 on it, I don't know. This one has a 0, this one does. This is a percentage dial, meaning it's basically a power dial. You dial something in and then how much energy you want to put out. So it's interesting. You have your two, you'll see how this bounces a little. I've got it plugged in here to work basically. This is for adjusting the GSR meter, which is, of course, attached to your fingers in your typical fashion here. Again, I'm only going to give you the basics here. This is for the Pacer unit, which was basically based on putting tones in your ears to create a trance or to change your state for radionic tuning. A very good idea. We talk about the shifting technologies. This is one of them. So you want to shift out, you want to get your mind out of the common and tune into the uncommon. So you could wear these. This actually had a head on it where you could actually put it on, and you could then, we'll be hearing those tones. And of course you have the GSR meter. You have the typical sample plate, as they call it. With two. And there's ways of using this, but you know, the unfortunate problem here is we run into the same thing as we run into with all radionics, and that is that there's really nothing inside of this past this goofy electronics here, which are okay, but really don't do much for you. We are working with more sophisticated GSR technologies right now to kind of help people with their tuning. So there's always something to that, but GSRs, particularly back 30 years ago, weren't very good. The tones in the ear, well, that's a start, but what else? Well, they used a complete metal cabinet. You see here? So this is an aluminum cabinet. These are expensive now, and that's why you usually see plastic everywhere else. They won't use metal because of the cost, not because they think there's anything wrong with it. But metal is generally not a good thing to make a cabinet out of that's using a subtle energy. It's a conductor. Aluminum cabinets, I'm not sure. Aluminum's not the best metal in its formed form. We all need aluminum, by the way, to live, and it's very important for in your diet, small amounts of it. But metal cabinets, putting radionic machines in metal cabinets is generally not a good idea. But this is generally well made. I was involved with, in terms of, you could become a member of Lor'D Industries and get their magazine catalog for many years. They made some pretty good stuff, but their larger unit that had a circle dial on, I think there were 12 dials in a circle out of these, was a really nice unit made in actually a suitcase, a quality suitcase with several other attachments to it, including a stick pad that was made out of rosewood, which is considered one of the better woods to use. So that's kind of nice. I mean, they were serious people. I think there was some sort of divorce or other things when they stopped making it. I don't know if they ever did that much business, but of course they did okay, but who knows what happens. Like most radionic organizations, they tend to fade away after 15 years or so. So we're not really sure what happened. We do sell one of their catalogs from 1990 that has all their machines in it, as well as some excellent radionic information. I think it's a couple of bucks. Check the link below and you can download that, get it instantly on our website. It's a fun thing to have. Look what was going on in the past, especially if you're a radionics aficionado. But, you know, if you're doing any research, you want to be a radionic expert, you need all that information. So it's quite a a fun catalog for anyone who's interested in radionics. And you can see here it's got, it's all aluminum. This basically is just one of the feet missing. And of course, for those that want to see the guts, what's in this? How did they wire it? Etc. And of course, this is, I don't think most people are interested in it, but those who really want to know the nuts and bolts of things, of course, you have to be an all-access or a Patreon member. And these will eventually pop up on the website and on Patreon, and you will be able to see what's inside. And we'll talk about it in depth for those that are into this. I'm not sure many people even care, but this is what I've been doing for 40 years now, and it's quite fascinating. What's out there? What do you do when you research a subject matter? Well, initially what you do is you find out what people were doing in that industry. What did they make? Was there something special? And we need to know that. We need to take this technology and bring it up to a fantastic level, which is what we're doing with it right now. Here's an actual little probe that's also hooked up to the unit. A nice idea to put a probe in there, similar to what Copen did with his mineral searching. So it's a nice little unit, and I think these were relatively inexpensive for the day. And these are very hard to find now. I just happened to run into this on a auction site and was able to grab it. There was no interest in it. I don't think people even remember the Lor'D company. L-O-R''D, Lor'D. So I don't know if these are a bunch of radical Christians or not. You always get those goofballs and have problems. But again, they, like most people, while I was following them, they knew of me. They never made any attempt to contact us or do anything further. This is the problem with the industry. This is why common scientists tend to have so much information, is that they're working together. They're not competing. They have their money from their universities. They're not trying to sell their book over others. So it's not a business. So you get together with a bunch of people and you have rational discussions. And if you agree or not, well, that's up to you. But there's nothing behind it. When you get into almost any, and particularly the alternative actual businesses, no matter what it is, alternative, where people cry that they hate the establishment, is nothing but a backbiting sewer of information. People never contacted me, even though I was the first one to ever produce a metaphysical radionic unit. It's the first one to ever have a radionic retail store. No interest whatsoever. It's amazing for that. But of course, people are a bunch of cowardice freaks as well. You got to remember that radionics is ran by Satanism and has been for many years, as is most of the metaphysical occult business, particularly orgone, which was started by, or not the original orgone, but new orgones were started by a well-known Satanist. And people have no problem, apparently, supporting that kind of mentality. Good luck, because those machines make you sick, baby. So here's another fascinating one. Tune in. All those that are interested should join All Access, Patreon. Follow our links below. And, of course, like and subscribe. Support us. We're the only one doing this.